Yo, it's the daily post gym video. Actually, not daily. I actually haven't done these in a couple days. I've been having kind of an off last, I guess this whole beginning of this week. Monday, I didn't go to the gym. I actually went to the gym. I did it at home. I did a home workout, and then on Tuesday was just a completely horrible day. I recorded a video. I might post it at some point at like kind of the end of that day, just saying like this day could not have gone worse in terms of my work ethic, my just laziness, and just like I just had one of those days where it was completely a disaster from top to bottom. And I don't know where it came from. And I think I was doing a reflection at the end of the day, and it stemmed from like kind of the beginning of the day. I woke up at 4 a.m. I started off the day well, actually, like better than most days before, but I went back to sleep. Like it was cold. It was very, I don't know, it's very uncomfortable. I just went back to sleep. I was like, okay, let me just take a nap. I'll do the workout later. And that's where it started. Just that small little decision that I made, just to go back to sleep instead of just getting up and doing my workout. And at the end of the day, I'm just sitting there, and like the video, it's like, what just happened? Like at the end of the day, I was just completely like, what just happened? It started with that small decision that I made at the beginning of the day. I'm just not gonna work out right now. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. And that small decision led to a multitude of back-to-back small decisions that were just not good. That were just horrible decisions back to back to back. And then at the end of the day, I'm just sitting there like I just had a horrible day. Like probably one of the worst days I've had the whole year. And it's like I was completely unproductive. And it just started off with that small little decision of I'll just go back to sleep and I'll do the workout later. And then I guess what I want to say is like everything happens for a reason, right? And I got a lesson out of that. It's like, don't every little decision matters. And today, as I was going to the gym, I was thinking about this, and it was like the person that the person that I would have been if I didn't make that decision to go back to sleep is a completely different person than I was after I made that decision to go back to sleep. So what that means is the levels that I could have jumped towards my goals and towards where I want to be in that day if I just didn't make that small decision, compared to how much backwards that I went that day, is like, it's actually significant. And the reason why I bring this up is because most of the time the reason why I let myself do things like little things is because they are just that little, and it's like, it's not going to affect me this much. It's just a little thing. It's just going back to sleep for another hour, and then I'll do the workout later. It's a small thing, but those things add up, and the discrepancies between how far I could have gone and how much backwards did I go is big enough to where it makes a dent. It makes a big impact into the time frame of the things that I want to do. So just that lesson itself is very I think it's a really very important lesson for me to learn. And everything happens for a reason. When you're on God's plan and God's journey, God's path, he shows you things, and he wants to teach you lessons. And I think it's a very important lesson that I learned. If anything, that's what I got out of that day. It's like how important my small decisions will be and how much they can impact me in my life. And I think it's just coming down to like a commitment of doing the things that are required over doing the things that I want to do, or whatever is least resistant. And that's something that I've been learning from the book, the No Excuses, that I've been reading by Brian Tracy. And it's something that really just kind of clicked for me is every day you have a decision, and there's the right decision, there's the wrong decision, there's things that are required for you to get to where you want to be. There's things that you're required, and there's things that you want to do. Sometimes those two things align, right? In a very rare case, something that is required for me to do to get to where I want to be, and the thing that I want to do most that day is very rare, but sometimes they're aligned. It's like, I really want to do a workout today. I'm really feeling the workout, and then I do the workout, right? But that's also what's required for me to get to the goals that I have. But most of the time, that's not the case, right? Most of the time, it's not gonna be like that. It's what I really want to do is gonna be the thing that's gonna take me backwards a couple steps, and then what's required is gonna be something I really don't want to do, right? So that discrepancy is always a big discrepancy there. And in between that, right? In between the things that I really want to do, right, and the things that I really don't want to do but are required, that's where the discipline is. So every time I do something that I don't want to do but is required, instead of doing something that I really want to do, or it's things that are least resistance, in that gap, that is where I learn discipline. And that's something, like, that's a big thing, is like hit me in the head, like that's the gap where I learn discipline. Every time I make that decision to do what it's required instead of doing what I want to do, whatever that gap is, right, if it's something that I really don't want to do and something that I really want to do, right, and I decide to do the other thing, the better choice, the distance between that gap is the amount of discipline that I will gain by making that decision, that hard decision. And the same goes the other way. If it's a big gap, when I make the wrong decision, when I do the thing of least resistance, I lose that much discipline, and maybe even more. So that's like, all this goes to show is like the biggest issue, the biggest hurdle that I've had all these years when I want to develop my discipline is these little voices in your head saying, this isn't a big thing, it's just it's just one day, it's just one workout, it's just little thing. But those little things are big, have big gaps, and they can move you forward or backwards by by a big amount. So that's kind of the big lesson that I learned today, is like, or this week actually, is how important these little decisions, these small decisions, how much they matter in the long-term scheme. So yeah, that's my rant for this morning. I like these rants. I think they help me stay focused and stay on path and stay in the flow. And also something that I've realized is like flow, it's really important to stay in the flow throughout the day. And it's not, I mean, I don't have to be in the flow throughout the whole day, but because it's not always required, but I want to be able to stay in flow, at least throughout the times that I need to be in flow. Whereas when I'm working out, when I'm working, when I'm in a meeting, whatever, I need to be in flow. But when I'm like off work, then that's when I can stay get off of the flow state. And something that I've been making a big mistake on recently is like, I'm working, right? And then I get off flow state by like, having a meal or just relaxing or being on my phone, watching TV, whatever. But I still have work to do that day, right? So it's really hard. Once you get off the flow, it's really hard to get back on the flow. It's like a big ladder I have to step back on. So I think it's really important for me to just save those moments, whether it's like relaxing, chilling, like having lunch or whatever, just save all that, just fast throughout the whole day, stay focused, stay in the flow state. And then when I'm done with everything, when I'm done with all my work, then I can relax, right? So just not making any gaps in between my flow, because it's really hard to get back on it. So that's also something that I kind of thought about while I was in the gym today. But it's a good day. It's a good day to be alive. I'm grateful. I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, I'm so grateful. I could have woke up today and be permanently blind out of my left eye. Could never see out of my left eye again. But I can see out of both eyes. I can breathe out of both nostrils. I can use my mouth. I can hear out of both my ears. I can walk on both my legs. I can use both my hands. And I've been blessed. And this blessing is an opportunity that God has gave me today to... Bro, old lady. Vote yes, value them both. I don't know what that means, but she almost crashed into me. But yeah, I mean, what was I saying? What was I saying? Lost my train of thought. It's old lady. What was I saying? Can you guys, oh my gosh, where was I? Discipline, I don't know. Next video, I guess. I completely lost it. Oh, flow, was it flow? Staying on flow, getting back on flow? Or was it something else? Grateful. Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful I didn't crash into this old lady, but I'm just, it's every day is as an opportunity from God to do what He's called you to do. Every day that you wake up, that you're living, that you have all of your limbs, that you can walk, you can talk, you have peace, you're not in fear, you're not in doubt. Like these days are blessings, and I'm supposed to use these blessings. They're opportunity for growth and for staying on the path and doing what God wants me to do. So I'm so grateful, and I'll go into this day with that gratefulness and completely destroy it. And then I'll make a video at night reflecting over this day, and then yeah, that's today. Peace.